Welcome to Art is Good For You, the podcast spreading the message that making and experiencing art can help with healing and happiness no matter who we are. I'm Rachel Duffield, and after nearly 20 years working in museum education, I gave it all up to start a community interest company helping people in rural communities make and experience art. At 52, I'm so lucky to be living the dream as a full-time artist, art teacher, and now podcaster. It's my belief that even if art isn't up front and centre in your life, it can still have a big impact, sometimes in unexpected ways. So I'm inviting people from all walks of life, some arty, some not, to chat with me about the 3 pieces of art in their life that have turned out to be memorable, special, or even life-saving. My guest today is a Celebrant and GCSE English teacher who wishes people could just be kinder to each other. She describes herself as relating very closely to Winnie the Pooh, short, circular, and a bear of very little brain who loves honey. But I know that whatever size her brain may be, she possesses a sharp intellect. She's a funny, incredibly well-read, and a loyal and supportive friend. She's also one of the kindest people I know. Dorothy, welcome to Art is Good For You.
Oh, it's lovely to see you.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you too.
As always.
Hardly, but thank you. Yes, I've actually brushed my hair, Dorothy. That's all it is. I've just brushed my hair. That's all it takes these days. Right, so before we get on to your 3 pieces of art, I asked a general question, didn't I, when we were talking about it over email before. So how does art feature in your life? How much does it feature? And what's the sort of ratio between your creator side and your consumer side of the arts? And what goes into each part? So a bit of a tricky question, but let's just plunge in. What did you think?
I cannot draw a stick figure accurately. Hopeless. Utterly hopeless. Anything vaguely needing drawing, be that geography, history or anything else, they were, not good.
Okay, so what does art mean for you now then? How have you skewed it?
My art is music and words and reading. I've read ever since I was tiny. When I was a little girl,
Can you remember learning to read?
No, because I was so young. I had people reading to me constantly. And I know I could read when I was about 2.5, 3. It was only tiny books, but I could read proper books. The Christmas, all I ever wanted, all I still ever want now, are books. And
I've seen your house, Dorothy.
Yeah, well, yes. You can see my study behind me. Yeah. And Mum and Dad were very, very clever, having had 2 children already. So Christmas morning, they wrapped up whatever that year's book was, whether it was the Cindy Annual or whatever it happened to be, Rupert, and put it in my room with a note from Father Christmas that basically said, read it from cover to cover and then you can go and wake your mum and dad up.
Oh, very good forward planning from your parents.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted anyway. So
yeah. So books have had, I suppose, really positive associations from that early age.
I love books.
Love and Christmas and all those lovely things.
Exactly. And just the whole idea of losing yourself in a book and, finding something that is completely different but imaginative and another world. And I worry a little bit because I think literature is getting more and more simple.
Right.
I mean, when I was a child, I was brought up on things like The Wind in the Willows.
Me too.
Yeah. But when did you last read it? When did you last look at it?
I looked at it when George was tiny, my son, and he wasn't into it. He couldn't get into it. It was too complicated for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
And the language has just it's such beautiful language.
Yeah.
But to think that Kenneth Grahame was writing that for 8, 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And we just swallowed it whole.
Yeah.
And yet you have 15, 16-year-olds who can't read this.
Yeah, yeah. Which you of course would know and see a lot of as an English GCSE tutor. You kind of a good judge.
It was hard, he thought, to be within sight of safety and almost of home, and to be balked by the want of a few wretched shillings and by the pettifogging mistrustfulness of paid officials. Isn't it wonderful?
I don't think you get that in SpongeBob.
No. Or anything else vaguely GCSE.
Yeah, but it is wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
They're so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, the words stir emotions and help and heal and wound, and they're the greatest weapon we have. And I love the musicality of it as well. It has a rhythmic flow that makes it or mars it. And one of my great problems, if you like, is with Shakespeare or Charles Dickens or whoever it happens to be, where they're in school and I don't know how else they could do it, to be fair. This is not me having a go at schools, for heaven's sake, because they do a brilliant job. But a bunch of teenagers trying to read Macbeth, it's not going to happen.
No, it's a bit inscrutable, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And yet the beauty of the words, and especially Shakespeare's sonnets, are just so rhythmically perfect. You know about the joys of singing and that just utter fulfillment when something that's inside you comes out.
Yeah.
And you can hit a high note and shake the spiders out of the rafters. Well, you can, I couldn't.
I can't anymore.
You know, I was more double bass than anything. But that sheer joy of it, and you still get that in words.
Yeah, yeah. That's lovely. Beautifully put, Dorothy. Thank you. So let's move on to your three pieces that you chose, your pieces of art. And I said to you, they don't need to be art. They can be art as you see art. And you've given me a beautiful description of the way that you see art through words and music rather than the visuals. So my first question was, what was the first piece of visually impactful art that you remember?
The visual has to be all those wonderful Hollywood musicals and Disney films that we watched as a child. And it's not just necessarily Bambi, or that's beautiful, and the evil witch in Snow White, and wonderful, wonderful drawings. But it's also that staging of things like West Side Story. And the dancing in there. I love dance and ballet. And so the whole choreography was just wonderful. I was glued to it.
Lovely. So for you, I suppose I'm gleaning that a still image doesn't really do much, but a moving image does a lot.
It's not that it doesn't do much. I absolutely love art, and I'm addicted to things like television program, Portrait of an Artist.
Oh, yeah.
Portrait Artist of the Year, Landscape Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
And the hidden masterpiece ones. I love the research, but I love looking at the pictures as well. It's just that I don't know very much about them.
Okay.
Milton has this, my other half, Milton, has this thing that I'm the art expert in the family, which is highly entertaining. And that only means that when we're on things like Mastermind or University Challenge, I can guess more accurately than he can. I can spot a Bruegel from a Renoir, but that's about it.
Well, that's a start. That's good. But it doesn't hit with you, doesn't perhaps meet with you emotionally in the way that music and words do.
No, it doesn't. I can appreciate the talent and the beauty, and I can sit there and say, look at the light in that, and isn't it stunning? But it doesn't hit me quite as hard.
No. What I was wondering is, I know that you're the feeling of, as you said earlier, expressing it from deep inside and letting that go. Yes. Isn't that a wonderful feeling?
Oh, yes.
Fabulous. So I wondered how that expressive element of music features in your work as a celebrant, because I assume people choose music for the services. Or do they
do.
Or are you involved in that?
I delight in encouraging people to do whatever they want. So if someone wants to go out to I Am a Fire Starter, go for it.
I think that's a great selection.
Yeah, why not? Somebody came out the other day to Teddy Bear's Picnic.
Oh, brilliant. That's really nice. So do you think that the music helps those people
Hugely.
in a troubled time, like a funeral or
Hugely.
goodbye? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've got one tomorrow where the exit music was their wedding song.
Oh, goodness, not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's part of what it's all about. You've got to have the joy in language to pull the laughs
Mm-hmm.
and have the funny bits and know when to pause and wait for the hysteria to dry, and you can carry on. But you've also got to be able to do the poetry bits.
Yeah.
And the sad bits.
Yeah. Yeah. So I suppose that really runs along beautifully with your history, your training in performance and music and literature. It all blends beautifully, doesn't it? And also your emotional connection to the words and the music. You're able to kind of find a parallel with what the families need and pace it beautifully for the service.
I don't read poetry as didum 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 didum.
No.
Breathe because I've come to the end of a line. Didum didum didum. Oh no.
Of course you don't.
No. It's got to mean something. There's no point doing it.
Yeah. So it's lovely how all those elements have kind of drawn together to help those people in troubled times. Has it helped you in troubled times as well, all those mixture of things?
I tend to find refuges in music and literature, certainly. And there's certain books that I will go back to time and time and time again.
Yeah, any in particular?
The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
What is it about those?
It's another world. It's far-fetched and believable at the same time. That whole thing, to me, you lose yourself in a sort of fantasy.
Okay. And what's so comforting about that world?
It probably goes back to my first year at secondary school, where we had this glorious English teacher, Mr. Morgan, and he was a sort of little bit of hippie of his time. And we're talking back in 1971 when teachers actually did things like carry pipes around with them and matches and corduroy jacket with the patches on the elbows, the whole thing. And he read the whole of The Hobbit to us in instalments. Every Friday we had our instalment of The Hobbit.
Oh, lovely.
And it was just wonderful. He did all the voices, so he became Gollum or whoever else. It was just lovely. So
something to look forward to at the end of the week, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
things like Wind in the Willows. I like the magical, that slightly whimsical element to things. Basically, I think at heart, I'm a 65-year-old child. I like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, who doesn't like Winnie the Pooh?
He's wonderful.
Winnie the Pooh's great. So my third question to you is your third piece, a memorable experience of art that provoked a strong emotion in you. So tears, laughter, shock, revelation, something else, whatever it was.
A few years ago, quite a few years ago now, I'd say about 15, we got the chance to go and see Derek Jacobi doing King Lear at the Lowry in Manchester.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. It was incredible. I mean, I know he's a good actor, but the way in which he interpreted Lear, and it wasn't the usual manic yelling and all the rest of it. He turned him into a very whimsical old man, clearly going through the early stages of dementia. And when he did the blow winds and crack your cheeks speech, the way that they'd done that was they basically turned the stage black and white, so he was almost in silhouette, played an awful lot of white noise, and he was on a microphone, and he almost whispered it, so you were inside his head.
Ooh. Oh, that's brought
Oh,
shivers up my spine,
it
and I haven't
was.
even heard it.
It was amazing.
Mm.
And I was just entranced. And I got into the car on the way home. Luckily, Milton was driving, and I just shook all the way home to that. I mean, I've seen Kenneth Branagh
Yeah,
doing Macbeth and things like that. And yes, it
yeah,
was excellent. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
yeah,
But it didn't have that little extra something that
yeah.
Jacobi brought to that part.
How wonderful.
You
How
know,
wonderful. What an
oh, it
experience.
was.
Unforgettable for you, clearly. I had a wonderful experience of King Lear myself, actually.
All
When
right.
so I saw the Renaissance Theatre Company, Emma Thompson, Kenneth Branagh, Richard
Oh,
Bryars, a real fantastic. I'm so
jealous.
lucky. I completely didn't appreciate it at the time. I was a teenager. Um, however, with hindsight, I think, wow, how lucky I was. And they put on King Lear and A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh,
And I
yes.
saw them both. They had a circle of rain on the stage. God knows how
Yep.
they did it in a tent. But in that blow winds and crack your cheeks scene,
Hmm.
it was Richard Bryars playing Lear, obviously known best for The Good Life and all his
Yeah.
comedies and Phone Wrong Way Round, dear, and all that.
Superb actor.
Superb actor. But he was doing very serious King Lear. And that speech stays with me. And actually, it was
Yes.
the special effects that did it because he was in the middle of a circle of rain and the
Yes.
steam was coming up from the water
Yep.
and he was giving this incredible performance.
Mhm.
Again, it doesn't sound like he wasn't whispering like Derek Jacobi, but it was an understated performance
Yes.
of a very desperate old man. There was none of that sort of dementia element that sounds like brought in. But I think,
Yeah.
do you agree with me that maybe Shakespeare's words are so good they allow us to almost use them as a blank canvas?
Yes.
The same words taken in different ways.
They're a script.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about Shakespeare and when he was writing and what he was doing, if he was alive today, he'd be the Emmerdale Coronation Street of the it's popular theatre. You know, and it's written to please the masses and to please the those with money as well. So it's a very fine tightrope.
Yeah.
But if you think how much bawdy humour there is in Shakespeare,
Yeah.
he's very much a man of the people and entertaining the people. So
A lot of that humour is lost over the passage of time, though, don't you think? Do you think you need a bit more context to kind of get that?
you have to
humour?
explain it.
Yeah.
And I find with things like the porter's scene in Macbeth, fabulous bit of comedy, but I have to actually explain it to the kids. But once they get it,
Yeah.
they understand what's behind it, then they see. When we went to see Branagh in Macbeth, that was in a disused church. And they used the central aisle as the main stage, and witches at one end and Lady Macbeth at the other. But in the opening scene with the battle, those people who were at the front have been told, come in clothes that you don't mind getting wet and slightly dirty.
Oh, yuck.
Because
Okay.
it had a mud floor, the mud got slippy and wet, and if you were on the front row, there was quite a likelihood that you'd be watching someone being pushed over the barrier backwards towards you and having the throat slit in front of you. It
Goodness.
was very visceral.
That's what they call immersive theatre, I think.
Yes, it was beautifully done.
Oh, wonderful. But still not as memorable as the quiet whispers of Derek Jacobi.
No, nothing will ever top that. But
So how would you
excellent.
feel if all books and music were taken from your life, if you couldn't access them? How would you feel downgraded by that?
Would it be worth actually having a life?
Oh, goodness.
If you think about it, everything that we do, even everything on television, is based on words and the musicality of words, whether that's a soap opera or whatever it happens to be. We spend our lives living with words and music. And, you know, imagine if there wasn't a Taylor Swift or an Adele. You know, it's the same thing. Just because it isn't classical or Dickens doesn't matter. The entire world, during COVID, what got us all through?
The arts.
Yeah, we couldn't have coped without the arts. And that's why I'm so sad that schools' funding is being removed at such a huge rate.
And what about the other end? We've talked a lot about kids because that's who you work with. I work a lot with older people and I see the benefits to their well-being. have you, through engaging with art, whatever sort of art it can be, have you seen that in your own life?
I come from a family who weren't really into arts.
At all?
Not particularly. I mean, they like the odd musical and they go to watch pantomime. And we were brought up on things like Morecambe and Wise
Mm.
and that sort of idea. But we go and watch musicals.
Mm.
But I don't think Mum and Dad would ever go and watch a play.
What would you have done for? I know your mum and dad have both gone, but
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago. But what if you were trying to do something for their well-being, as we know the term now these days?
Yes.
What would have engaged them, do you think, as people who are not interested in the arts in the traditional way?
Dad was a woodworker.
Right.
Yeah, he was a master carpenter.
Ah, now we have it.
So I would encourage him to do as much carpentry as he could. He obviously did an awful lot of doors and windows and that sort of thing.
Mm.
But for one of the local churches, he also built things like decorative altar rails.
Oh, lovely.
And the altar rail and the pulpit. They're still in use in a church here. So he did that sort of stuff, as well as making little wooden boats with his grandchildren.
Well, that's lovely too. Yeah.
And Mum was just a very ordinary lady from Bolton who liked to think she was a bit Hyacinth Bouquet, bless her.
Oh, did she?
For Mum, there wasn't really anything arty that she would have related to.
Did she create in terms of homemaking skills? Is that where it might have come out? Because I refuse to believe people haven't got anything at all creative.
She used to tell us that she once skipped on stage at the Albert Hall.
Oh, well, that's good.
But when she was young.
I've never done that.
Apart from that, no, she was very much, she read magazines. She wasn't a particular book reader unless she got into a bit, things like Catherine Cookson.
Yeah, yeah. So in terms of my first question to you, which was the percentage of creator versus consumer, your mum was more or less 100% consumer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. My sister, on the other hand, is very, very good at embroidery.
Yeah.
And that side of it, and craft. And when I was little, Dad would make a wardrobe for Cindy.
Yeah.
And then my sister would fill it full of clothes and that sort of thing. She made my wedding dress and embroidered it.
Well, that's incredibly creative, isn't it?
Beaded it. She used to teach embroidery, craft and design for City and Guilds. So she was a lecturer in that. So
wow, she must have been brilliant at it.
Oh, she is. Sadly, she's got arthritis in her hands now, so she can't do it. But her embroidery skills and creative skills are wonderful, which is what she's passed on to me.
Yeah,
I can't knit, but I can sew. I can embroider. With the people that I do funerals with, I will quite often do little tokeny things. So last week I folded 70 origami butterflies.
I heard
like
about
you
the origami
do.
butterflies and the pegs.
And the pegs, yes, and the pegs.
Yeah. So, in terms of creator versus consumer, for you, you've put that you sort of feel like you're 50-50 because you create with the art of your celebrancy. So we have your creativity comes out through your work and through the way that you teach and stuff like that. Your creativity and love of art through consuming is really the books and the music. Obviously, that's
and the
very
theatre.
obvious the way your face lights up when you talk about it, and the theatre and that sort of thing. So, but you do have a little bit of creativity yourself, which we haven't talked about yet, which is your embroidery and stuff like that. So overall, do you reckon 50-50?
I think I am pretty much 50-50. And things like the origami stuff, and I'll do that while I'm teaching a teenager. Because sometimes they're writing, or sometimes I'm explaining a poem that I've explained 200 times before. So I don't need to look at any notes. I can do something with my hands while I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
And that then brings them into, what you're doing.
Yeah. So the last one is your Mona Lisa, as I put it. If you could steal any artwork and keep, and no one would ever find out and it would be fine and you could keep it forever, what would it be?
Well, it's a bit different because I'm not convinced that nobody would notice. But I'd like to steal Judi Dench, please.
I love it. I knew you'd say something amazing. Why do you want to steal Judi Dench?
Have you heard her? She's incredible. I've never heard anyone that can speak as she does, and flit from comedy to Shakespeare to Alan Bennett to anything. She can do absolutely everything. She's got the most evil sense of humour. She would be incredibly entertaining, but she could also turn on all the Shakespeare and everything that I love. And you know, her rendering of Sonnet 29 is just glorious.
Oh, how fantastic. Well, I can safely say to you, Dorothy, that as an arbiter of giving out stolen artworks, as I am, I can award you Dame Judi Dench.
Thank you very much.
Because, as we all know, art is good for you. And if she's art, then she's good for you.
Oh, she's art. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And on that slightly surprising and amusing note, we'll end the podcast. Dorothy, thank you very, very much for being on my Art is Good For You podcast. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope to hear many more of them.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Art is Good For You with me, Rachel Duffield. If you can't wait for more art-based chat, or even better, this podcast has inspired you to pick up a paintbrush or a pencil yourself, you can find details of all my classes, including my community art clubs, on my website, www.rachelduffield.art.com. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Just search Rachel Duffield Art. What have you got to lose? Remember, art is good for you.